My ex-wife cheated on me and swore on our daughter's life to cover it up, and now after 6 years of no contact, she's begging for a healthy co-parenting relationship. So I found out my ex-wife, 37 female, cheated on me, 37 male, 6 years ago when I discovered her in a 4-month affair with a married man. We share a 15-year-old daughter together and co-parent exclusively through my sisters, or email. I found out because the affair partner's wife sent me all of the pictures and videos that they took of them cheating on us with his phone. Some of the deal breakers for me was that she did a bunch of spicy acts with her affair partner that she would flat out refuse to do with me, saying that those acts were disgusting, and against her integrity as a woman. She literally told me her body, her rules. Before presenting her with the evidence I had given her a chance to come clean. However, she gaslighted me. Even swore on our daughter's life. I told her if you had any integrity, or respect for me at all you would tell me the truth right now. She held firm that I was crazy and making wild accusations with no facts. So I then present the facts. When confronted with the evidence, she broke down and looked me in my face and said she is a piece of crap and knew her betrayal was beyond disrespectful and ultimately something I would never forgive. I told her going forward under no circumstances except health, safety, and the life or death of our daughter should she contact me. We divorced soon after. Fast forward 6 years later. Last month my daughter asked if I would attend a dinner that she was cooking to prepare for her baking and cooking competition coming up. I of course agreed, but the kicker was her mother, my ex-wife, would be there too. She knows why we divorced and accepts that I've gone no contact with her mother. Mind you, I haven't seen or spoken to my ex-wife in close to 6 years. At the dinner some of my former in-laws and ex-wife were there, as well as my sisters and myself. My daughter's food was delicious and everything went pretty smooth. 1 week after the dinner I received a phone call from my ex-wife that I obviously answered because I thought something was wrong with our daughter. Nothing was wrong with our daughter, but my ex-wife wanted to sincerely apologize for her actions in the past and the damage she did to break up our family. She said that our daughter almost had a breakdown with the fear of her asking me to be in the same place as her and that our current dynamic is not healthy. She wanted to know if was there any way to healthy coexist for future events with our daughter. I did not interrupt her and let her finish what she had to say. When she finished talking, I responded by saying no and discontinued the call. Here is where I need advice. My sister told me my ex-wife is truly ashamed and sorry for breaking up the family and just wants a healthy environment for our daughter. My sister tells me to move on and to think about our daughter's mental health. I reminded my sister that what value am I in my daughter's life if I am unhappy? My ex-wife does not make me happy. So I need an unbiased opinion. Should I forgive my ex-wife and move on to build a better co-parenting relationship with my wife for my daughter's sake? Update 2 days later, I spoke to my daughter, 15 female, yesterday and what she had to say was an eye-opener. She told me that she knows that I love her and would do anything for her so she doesn't want to take advantage of my love for her for me by making me do things I normally would not otherwise do. She says her mom is struggling with sadness sometimes and tells her all the time that your father is not ever going to move past hating me, which makes it hard for everyone else to stop judging her for her past as well. Apparently my ex-wife is venting her grievances with our daughter because she has so few friends. My ex-wife lost a majority of all of our childhood friends, as we all grew up together. None of the husbands want their wives hanging out with her due to the fact that she used girls' night as an excuse to be with her affair partner, and some of the wives knowingly and some unknowingly covered for her. This caused a lot of drama. It is a common belief that some of the other wives were cheating as well, but no other proof can be found. Since my divorce with the ex, the other wives have essentially removed her from the group to save their marriages. Anyway, my daughter also explained to me that she missed our family being together if she was being honest, but understands that me and her mother love her. She then asked me about forgiveness, and then about unforgiveness, things people cannot be forgiven for. I told her that is ultimately a standard you have to set for yourself. It comes from the morality and values you have within yourself. I explained that sometimes you can dislike the actions, but not dislike the person, and sometimes you cannot unassociate the actions from the person. Then I gave her an example. Joffrey Baratheon from Game of Thrones. She hates him with a passion. I said her mother is someone whose actions I cannot unassociate with her. I said it doesn't mean she is a bad mom, it just means she is someone who I cannot disassociate with her actions. As a result, mine and her relationship can never be the same. I then told her just because someone says sorry, that it doesn't mean that everything is okay. Unfortunately some actions have consequences, and in her mother's case her actions are a part of who she is as a person. My daughter then asks me if I have ever forgiven someone who has hurt me before, and I said yes. I have forgiven a lot of people. Forgiveness is a very important quality to have as a person. Ultimately, we had a very good conversation last night and said me and her mom will always be there for her when she has big life events. I will be talking to my ex-wife soon about her comments to our daughter. Second update 10 months later. So, after my last post I decided to schedule an appointment with 2 separate therapists who specializes in marriage and family counseling after divorce. I saw these 2 therapists over the course of 5 months. I did 5 sessions with each therapist, 1 woman and 1 male. In the sessions, I went over all my issues I dealt with my ex-wife and the current dynamics we have in place now. I showed both therapists my Reddit post and wanted truly 2 non-biased opinions from 2 professionals of the opposite sex. The advice they both gave me provided the contrast I needed to make necessary changes if any in my life. The first thing I did was invite my ex-wife to join me in 3 planned therapy consultations in which I would pay for. The goals were simple. First, create an avenue for my ex-wife to start speaking with a professional instead of our daughter about our issues. Second, give her closure, not forgiveness, but an opportunity to give her any answers she may need to recovery and be a better mother and person to our shared child. Lastly, build and commit to a plan that we will follow on how we will deal with parenting our daughter and behave at shared life events, and she actually accepted my offer. First session. The first session was all about sharing our point of view on the current state of our lives, and what we both want for our daughter. I shared that I am currently enjoying my life as my professional and personal life are flourishing in the sense that I have achieved balance, joy, and core life goals and accomplishments are being met. For my daughter, I shared that my goal is to ensure that she is happy, enjoys her childhood, feels loved, and understands the value of self-respect and commitment to core values. I always share with her that everyone loves to believe that they are exceptions to the rules, but sometimes following the rules are what makes a person exceptional. Having a clear sense of what is right and wrong and behaving in that fashion is very important to who you are. I shared my biggest regret in life would be if my daughter turned out like how her mother used to be 7 to 8 years ago. It was brutal saying this in the session, but I truly believe and fear this. My ex-wife then shares the current state of her life. She is very passionate about her career, interior-exterior designer. She quite literally turns houses into homes. She shares that she is currently working on herself because her past few relationships ended poorly because of her baggage from our marriage and divorce has made her very afraid of commitment. She also wants our daughter to be happy, loved, and a hard worker. She responded to my comment about me being afraid of my daughter turning out like how she was 7 years ago. She said her pride was hurt by that comment, but years of therapy help her realize she must accept that her actions of the past have warranted that kind of comment from me. She said she knows our daughter does not want to be like her because our daughter has asked her many times besides cheating on dad, what is the real reason why he will never forgive you? She said people cheat and get divorced all the time and they are still friends. However, dad truly thinks you are a bad person, but a good mom. For years she thought I was poisoning our daughter against her, but quickly realized that was just her own guilt eating her away. The session ended quickly after that. Second session. This session my ex-wife asked a lot of questions. I mean a lot. Nevertheless, I answered all of them honestly and bluntly. The 3 main questions she asked were the following. 1. How did I heal from the wounds that she caused, and what advice could I give her as she is still trying to heal from the wounds she caused herself? I explained that the damage she caused wasn't like a stab or a cut wound that you could stitch back together. I said her damage was more like she amputated a limb from my body. My recovery wasn't focused on healing, but rather on how to walk, lift, or learn how to eat with my feet because I no longer had hands. I recovered from what she did by reteaching myself how to not be defined by my disability, become a victim, but more importantly gaining strength from it. I ended by saying I am still recovering, there is no healing this wound, the leg is gone. I said my advice to her would be do not amputate your next partner. Stop focusing on healing and start prioritizing recovering from the damage you caused. Some things cannot be fixed, but they can sometimes be replaced, or provide life lesson on how to behave in the future. 2. How can she replace what she has broken? I reply by giving an analogy. When a woman has a miscarriage, she doesn't replace the child she has lost when she has another baby. She values the life of the child she is because she knows what it is like to lose a child or not have a child at all. She doesn't replace what she has lost, she has to use her previous loss as a vehicle to find love in what she is now. I reiterated that she cannot replace or fix this. Her actions are permanent and cannot be undone. She must recover and use her experience to be better next time. 3. Is there anything she could do to allow us to be friends again? I replied by saying no. However, her being a great mother to our daughter and showing her how to recover from making the mistakes she made in her past would go a long way in making sure our shared interest is met. I explained there is no scenario in which I can give you forgiveness, because it is not a gift I can give. This gift must come from yourself. I cannot be responsible for your happiness or forgiveness. 4. Would you allow me to keep trying? I respond sure. Last session, we made major agreements. We came to an agreement that I would allow her to contact me outside of emergency if she agreed to not speak about our relationship with our daughter. Please let her be a kid. She can call me directly if she wants to coordinate vacations, holidays, or gifts. I will agree to do 1 counseling session a year with her until our daughter is married or graduates from college. The goal is the session is to build a stronger co-parent relationship and ensure we are not letting our past ruin share experiences with our daughter. Overall, it has been 3 months since our last session, and I believe that I did what was in the most important immediate need for our child, which was ensure she does not feel she is responsible for me and her mother's happiness when it comes to her life. She is back to being a now 16-year-old teenager, worrying about boys, clothes, and social status, which I am perfectly happy to deal with. As for my ex-wife, that is a whole other thread.